Oh, hello. Oh, there you are. What was I going to do? I was going to flip this around. So it's flipped around the correct. There we go. Isn't that nice? Yes, so I was up with Lady Jerry. Big doings today in Jerrytown, Jerryville. We just got yesterday, as you know, we got the panel, the truck. And now today we got the panels for our got the panels for our lid at the top of the spiral stairs. So that's all. It's all going on. It's all going on. Oh, yesterday I was looking up Marshall Brodeen to see if I could find the Magic Tricks Are Easy Once You Know the Secret video, and then I forgot to. I was going to post it on the show page thing, and that didn't happen. So maybe I'll do that on our chat group this evening. But I have some. I did not neglect the my duties as a producer. I have the Armadillo Facts. I turned the fart machine on a while ago. It's on. It's on. We're doing this. Everything is happening. I don't know exactly. Again, why can't I see? Why can't I see today's? Oh, here we go. Now I can see. Ah, there you are. Jen's here. Hello, Julie. Hello, Scott. Oh, Phil. Greetings, Rachel. Happy Wednesday. You love having this to look forward today, even after all this time. Rachel, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Today, we were in the middle of putting the foam panels on the top of the stairs to see if they fit, because they just came in like at 2:45 here. And so I was up there doing that, and then we got into a conversation, Lady Jerry and I, she says, hey, it's 1 minute after 3. I was like, oh, God, I got to go. Amy, hello in Detroit. So, yeah, it wasn't that I forgot the show. It's just that I got a little distracted with all that's going on. And I spoke to my manager today, who's been my manager for, could be 20 years at this point. And she told me, Laura, hello, you're in Atlanta getting ready to head to the airport to go to Mississippi. Holy crap, I think you spend too much time in airports, Laura. I'm a little bit worried about you. You need to get vaccinated, girl. Gary, greetings. Hey, you missed it live, but watched it later. Loved the truck. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jen, you're saying you came right up on an armadillo on a dark, rainy night in the woods, and you just stood there motionless thinking it was going to kill you. It just calmly walked away. Yeah, they have super bad eyesight, is what I found out. Armadillos probably didn't even see you. They have a good sense of smell. I don't know what you smelled like at that time, but mostly their whole thing is to dig and hide. They eat insects and other animals and roadkill and stuff. They're not. I don't think it's going to attack you, but still, I wouldn't pick it up. They do carry. It's not time for that just yet. Oh, right, you smell like honeysuckle. How could I forget? How could I forget? Pick another day in East Tennessee paradise. Well, good for you. I just found out today. My manager of 20 years, holy shizzy, I'm getting dizzy, is moving to Nashville. So it's good news for me in my country music career. It's off to Nashville to have my rhinestone dreams come true, with any luck. Fingers crossed. Oh, Laura, you got the Vax appointment next week. Congratulations, just in time for stopping traveling for work as much as you do. Well, no, why stop now? You're here for the Robinson, you're here for the Armadillo Facts and just the facts. Well, I can't guarantee that these facts are correct, but I did get them from the internet, so they're probably pretty solid. Scott got the armadillo tattoo for the hard on the outside, soft on the inside, Texan angle. Well, the bottom of them is soft too. You got to watch out if you're an armadillo that you don't get flipped over, because that's when troubles can happen. Norman, you're saying you opened for me in Austin, Cap City back in 2000. It was a lot of fun. Came up with a funny Dick Cheney joke. How about that? 20 years ago, those Dick Cheney jokes were going like hotcakes. Yeah, I was sorry that Cap City's shut down, but I hear they're going to open back up, so that's good. 66 degrees today, Rich. Pants off. You better believe it, baby. I couldn't go in for my sea dip today because it rained last night and the night, and then it rained again today at noon. So the next time I can go in the ocean, I think health constraint advisory wise is Saturday. So I've got a couple days off of that. I did take a cold shower today. Not a completely cold shower. I turned on the hot water. It usually takes about 3 minutes for it to warm up. So I was in the cold water for a little while. Anyway, Gary, yes, you're right. Nashville is where country music comes from, just in case you want to stop it. I remember that. That was one of my jokes. All right, so where are we at? Oh, God, not that. Here we go. Armadillos. They live 12 to 15 years. They sleep a lot. Armadillos sleep 18 hours a day. And what do they do? What do they do? As Jen said, they just look. They just look. I said see diff? No, I said see dip. Laura, rain has to do with going in the ocean because the storm drains for all of Los Angeles empty into the Santa Monica Bay. So all the gutters on all the streets go down into, instead of us capturing that and cleaning it and watering our lawns or drinking it or whatever, we just run it right into the street. So all the gutters in the whole city, the whole LA basin, dump straight into the ocean. So when it and they're trying to change that. They've put some filters and strainers on some, but all the dog crap and cigarettes and human poop and whatever else has got washed down the gutters gets shoved out into the ocean. So it takes 2, 3, usually 3 days for it to kind of churn up and get diluted and pushed out to sea. If you go swimming right after it rains, the odds that you're going to find a dog turd or a baby diaper are possible. So you don't want to do that. Yes, Julie, there are several species of armadillos. I was going to get to that. The giant armadillo can get up to like 45 pounds and 2 to 5 feet long. But they have little tiny armadillos. The pink fairy armadillo is just 6 inches long. I guess that's 6 inches. So there's many armadillos, but they mostly live in Central and South America. The only armadillo that we have in the United States is the 9-banded armadillo that started to come up from Central America into Texas, but now they're in Florida, and they have even sighted these 9-band armadillos in Missouri and as far north as Illinois. So they like loose, sandy soil because they like to dig, moist, warm weather. But only one of them, the 3-banded armadillo, that's how you can tell is how many bands they have between their front shoulder armor and their butt ass armor, is they've got those bands there. The 3-banded armadillo can actually roll itself up into a ball. But the other ones, including the 9-banded armadillo that we have here in the United States of America, they dig themselves in so that just their hard carapace is up on top and their soft, tender bits are buried down in the dirt. And that's a valid form of self-defense in case you're ever attacked. But you do have to get a hard carapace. And I don't know where you get one of those during the pandemic. So what do we got here? They have bad eyesight, good sense of smell. I already said that. They're not social. They're not social, as you might expect. An animal with a lot of armor on its back who sleeps 18 hours a day, they're not social. Except for mating, and if it's cold, they'll huddle up together to stay warm. They're omnivorous, but 90% of their omnivorous diet is insects and larvae, and then the rest is amphibians and roots and stuff that people drop from the dinner table. They have a 2 to 5 month gestation period, but interesting, it takes 4 months for the eggs to implant, and then that 2 to 5 months is after that. Once the eggs implant, then they gestate. And they can have 1 to 12 young pups at a time. The 9-banded armadillos, the American armadillos, have 4 pups of the same gender at the same time. Something to do with the way the eggs divide and the zygotes and whatnot. The 7-banded armadillos can have 8 to 15 pups. Identical. They're identical, genetically identical at the same time. They weaned in 2 to 4 months, and they're mature at 9 to 12 months. So armadillos, age of consent, a little under a year. They live 4 to 30 years, a 30-year-old armadillo. My understanding is they don't smell very good. I did watch or I listened to sometimes those episodes of This American Life are so good that you think you saw them. I listened to an episode of This American Life one time, and they were talking about an armadillo in Texas. They had caught one and tried to have as a pet. It was sort of not a good pet. You know, they don't want to interact with you. They're not gregarious, as I mentioned, and they can be kind of smelly. So not recommended for pets, armadillos. And they also carry the bacteria that causes leprosy. But it's very hard to get leprosy from armadillos. So don't panic. Don't panic, Jen. You don't have leprosy from an armadillo. Although it is not recommended to handle them extensively or eat their meat. Nope. If somebody asks you, do you, what kind of burger do you want? Do you want the beef burger, the turkey burger, that's the Impossible Burger, or the armadillo burger? It's like anything but armadillo. That's our motto here at the Daily Briefing. Anything but armadillo at burger time. The 9-banded armadillo, like I said, can't roll into a ball. That's our American armadillo. But it has been known to jump 3 to 4 feet just straight up vertically in the air when it's startled. And that has got to be something to see. So, Jen, while I'm glad you didn't pet the armadillo or eat it, I think it would be funny to see an armadillo jump 4 feet in the air. They just don't look like they're going to be able to do that. We've got a pet bunny that jumps vertically just straight up into the air. Binkying, I guess it's called. And it's quite entertaining. But I feel like I'd pay money to see an armadillo do that on a Saturday night, if we're ever allowed to go out again. Maybe a Jake Fest. We can have Jumpin' Jake and his armadillo acrobats. All right. Sister Sue, you made it. I'm glad. Armadillos have the ultimate chastity belt. Yes, you did see the 4 they are identical, Julie, the armadillos. There's a genetic thing. I think they all have the bacteria that causes leprosy, but not, it said, look, this is a thing, but it's not a thing. Anyway, don't get an armadillo for a pet. And if you're a veterinarian, no armadillos. I think it's a good policy. More than half of Amazonian armadillos carry leprosy. The bacteria that causes leprosy, a chronic disease that can lead to disfigurement and nerve damage, is known to be transmitted to humans from 9-banded armadillos. A new study reports that 62% of armadillos in the western part of Pará state in Brazilian Amazon are positive for leprosy bacteria. Well, thank you, Darren. You're really a great addition to the team, I have to say, my brother. I enjoy your presence, and you really you supply a lot of fuel for the fire. Thank you. Julie, you're saying people brought leprosy to the Americas. Now armadillos can give it back. Yeah, well, there you go. Rachel, you're saying you can make armadillo eggs as an appetizer, bacon-wrapped cream cheese stuffed jalapenos. I don't think armadillos, I think they give birth to live young, not eggs, but I'm not sure about that. Jumpin' Armadillos is a great band name, Laura. I agree. And you're in the right part of the country to pitch that. I think as soon as you get off the plane in Biloxi or wherever you're going in Mississippi, you should Google Jumpin' Armadillos, or maybe somebody can do that right now. They may already be a band. They may be playing somewhere in Mississippi tonight, along with the Javelinas. Are the Javelinas, are they a band? I think they might be. Oh, I see. The jumping problem, Gary, you're saying, is how a lot of them get killed by cars. Interesting. Startled armadillo video. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. You know what? I'm going to watch that right now while I'm talking to you. And then I'm going to go back to Safari. But I was going to turn the sound down so we all don't have to listen to it. That's pretty... Holy crap! Oh, that was worth it. Worth it. Ring-a-ding-ding. Thank you. Thank you. That was really good. Quote of the day from Armadillo Study. I would not dig in soil that has a lot of armadillo excrement. Robinson. That's some other solid advice. Pass on the armadillo burgers. Do not dig in soil with a lot of armadillo excrement. In fact, If you see an armadillo, leave it alone. It's got enough problems. It's got enough problems. Got to sleep 18 hours a day. That's a lot of sleep. That's a lot of sleep. That only leaves 6 hours of waking time. And usually that's at night, although it did say that sometimes if it's cooler weather, they'll get out in the daytime more. Where are we at here? Julie, you're saying armadillos have a lower body temp than most mammals, and that makes them susceptible to leprosy, you've heard. Our skin is low temperature, too. Yeah, well, our skin, sure. Our surface temperature is less than our core temperature. My sister also enjoyed the jumping armadillo. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. If I could make that, if that could somehow be my ringtone, or if we could have a thing that people had to watch right before they got to say hello to us, I think it would be that jumping armadillo for me for this week. Just be like, hey, before we start having a conversation or I order my coffee, could you just look at this armadillo video? I think it's gonna make you happy and everything's gonna be better. Ouija, you're posting true facts about the armadillo video. Excellent. What's my temperature here? Jen, this armadillo idea was really a solid one. 97.8. So it's a good day. I could ask Mr. Predicto a question, but I'm not going to. Maybe later, Mr. Predicto. Let's take a look at the question box. If you could spend the weekend in any city, which would you choose? If I could spend the weekend in any city, which would you choose? Well, there's so many cities that I haven't been to. But if I could just magically be somewhere, and not during COVID, like during regular time. Of course, I love New Orleans, of course, New York City, all the United States cities. But if I could go to any city, when I was on tour with Russell, we went to Tokyo, and it was just such an amazing place. I think it might be Tokyo, which is in Japan. I think it might be in Tokyo, but there's a lot of other good cities. Paris, Rome. We had some great time in Paris and Rome. I think I'm going to go, but I think I'm going to revise that answer, and I'm going to say right now, Rome. I'd like to go to Rome. I'd like to go see some old buildings that are right next to some really effing old buildings, and I'd like to see the people who've been around those old places. I'd like to do that. And of course, I'd love to go to Egypt sometime, but I've never been there, so that's a little dicey one. Out of the question box, I don't think I can answer Cairo. I'm not doing that. All right. Where are we at? Mr. Predicto, are your feelings hurt that you're being sidelined today? Oh, okay. Mr. Predicto, are your feelings hurt that you're being sidelined today?
Ask later. The time is right.
Ask later when the time is right. Mr. Predicto showing that rare sense of humor that he's not known for. Any city without COVID, you're answering. Tokyo's a good pick, Darren says. Dave, greetings to you. Rome would be second to Florence for you, pick. Yeah, Florence is great. I mean, I've had, Italy is pretty awesome. So you're going to get good food everywhere you go in Italy. Greece, Athens, they can see some old stuff next to some really old stuff. Eat some good food in Athens. That could be a good one too. Dave, you're saying you're floating down a creek. Holy cow. Well, congratulations. Good to you, bro. Good for you, my brother. Did I do a burnout yet in the truck? No, I didn't do a burnout yet in the truck. I've been watching the crawl videos. It's a Toyota Tacoma 4x4. If you Google the Toyota Tacoma crawl feature, you put it in 4-wheel drive low, and then you turn on this crawl thing, and then you take your foot off the gas and the brake, and it finds traction, and you can watch it dig its way out of just buried axle deep in the sand. It kind of digs its way out, or you can watch it go down a giant rocky hill. So those are exciting things. I'm watching other people who have the same truck as me do things that are super interesting in that truck. That's what I'm doing now. It's like porn, where you're watching other people who have the same genitals as you doing amazing things with them. Oh yeah, you know the taco crawl. Oh, excellent. So I'm really sorry that Lady Jerry didn't make it in today, but she's pretty excited with her with this. So we got the foam panels that seal the top of the stairs. So tonight's going to be our inaugural sleep episode with the soundproofing in place on our house. And I have to say, I hope it works because, man, this is a thing that Lady Jerry's been bothered by for a long time. And we have recently now spent a fair amount of money and time on this solution. And if it works, oh my God, we're going to have a great day. We're going to have a great day tomorrow. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's show because it's either going to be good or bad. And then Friday, I'm having burgers with my special friend, and I hope that she's going to stay and do the show. But we'll see. We'll see. No promises. It is always better watching other people risk getting stuck rich. I'm not planning on trying to get stuck on purpose, but I am hopeful that I'll be able to get out if it ever does happen on accident. When I talked about the crawl feature, you thought I was talking about self-driving on the 405 at 5:30 p.m. Ouija. Although, these cars now, and this Tacoma included, have that smart cruise control where you have to steer. It kind of tries to keep you in the lane. You have to steer, but you can set the cruise control for 70 miles an hour. And if traffic slowly slows down to 30 miles an hour, the car slows down and maintains the distance. And then if traffic speeds up, it maintains the distance and speeds up with you. I get that I'm an old guy who's just late to that party. And I only discovered it this year because I had to drive to the Bay Area to do those virtual corporate gigs. And I rented cars that had that feature in it. And I was like, man, this is a game changer. And then when I started telling people about this amazing thing that my car could do, they were like, yeah, they all do that now. So that's the aging process in a nutshell. It's like, hey, can you believe the phone knows what time it is? And it just was daylight savings last night? It's, they all do that. Soundproofing works both ways. Wink, wink. Yeah, Scott. We can only hope. I'm hoping. Gary, you're saying your Tacoma's awesome in the mall parking lot. Yeah, well, that's where you do your burnouts. That's where you do your burnouts. Darren, you're saying with that feature, you can sleep in the bed and it'll get you where you're going. I think it's still illegal to be if you've got a truck top camper, I don't think you're supposed to be in the camper while the truck is moving. But who's going to know until something goes wrong? So we'll see. But I'm not getting it. I'll just put it this way. There's just me and Lady Jerry and little Jerry, Fanula. There's no way she's in the camper when we're driving. And there's no way I'm going to be back there when my wife is driving. And I'm pretty sure that she feels the same about me. So there you go. The crawl features probably reduced the swamp truck at the boat ramp effect. Scott, well, I hope so. I'm not getting into a boat, but I don't think I'm going to be pulling a boat with a truck. But I could. It has a 6,500 pound towing capacity. Okay. Laura, you're saying you had a rental car with that feature, but also had to turn a key to make the engine start. I don't know why cars don't have push button start. I don't either. This thing has a thing that that they've had on cars in the Midwest since after I left, but for a long time now. But it has you hit the key thing 4 times and it starts up, so you can start it from in the house and warm it up before you get out there. Of course, I never need to do that in California. I don't know when I'm going to use that feature. And then it also has an app. I can get an app, the Toyota app, and then connect it to my truck so that I can start it from inside the house or anywhere. I can start it from the show. That's not okay. And also I'll be able to to roll the windows up from anywhere. So if I'm across town in the other car with my wife and it starts raining, I go, oh, I left the windows up on the truck. I can roll them down from the app. Why would I do that? Why would I leave the windows down on the truck in my driveway intentionally and then realize across town that it started raining, so I better put the windows up? That's never going to happen. But if it ever does, I'm going to get that app, so I'm ready. Rich, you're saying your phone does this thing where it knows to ring when someone is calling it. Pretty cool. Yeah, they all do that. Sue, you're saying you miss Lady Jerry? Yeah, well, I don't miss her because I was just talking to her right before this. In fact, she was the one who reminded me, this is 3:01. Don't you have to F off and go do the show? I didn't even ask. She wasn't dressed up. But hopefully she'll be here tomorrow because we'll have had one night with that, the hookup, the stair lid. And she's going to be in such a good mood that she'll have to come in and do the show. Oh, Laura, you're saying it works to start the car in the summer so you can put on the AC. I'd need to be able to control the AC from the app, though. Can I do that? I don't know. I'll let you know as soon as I know. You can connect the app to Google Skynet and start your car by barking orders at it like you do. It's actually pretty handy. Dave, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Tacoma, come get me. Does it have an Uber mode where it just finds a sober person near you and gives them $10 to drive you home from whatever bar you're in? That's a good feature. All right, Dave. Good night. Good to see you. Glad you had a good time on the crick. All right. So what else do we have? I think that's our show just about for today. Oh God. I do have to tidy up before the show's over. I could do this tidying up after we're done. And that was a question about the city I could spend my weekend in. So we've got my temperature. We hit the fart machine, and we've done all the things. Oh, I showed you the basketball pump yesterday, and today I have my father's basketball from when he was in high school. My father is currently 86 years old. This is the basketball from when my father was in high school, his basketball. It's hard now, but if I soak it in water, it softens up and I can put air in it, but it's sort of a hard... I thought Fanula would like it because she plays basketball, but she didn't want it in her room. So anyway, there's a blast from the past. It's a basketball with seams on it, so you can throw it like a football. And it's sort of shaped like a potato. Not Mr. Potato, because it's just potato now. We haven't seized the day. No, you're right. It's time for Seize the Day. Seize the day. Grab it by whatever you grab it by, but not the thing that you think I was going to say, because that is not cool. All right. So here we go. My sister's saying she can't believe I had that basketball. You should see the boxing gloves of his that I also have somewhere around here. And his baseball glove. I have his baseball glove, which, most baseball gloves close like this. My father's baseball glove, it's got a big meaty part down here, and it closes like that. It's pretty hello. All right. Here we go. So it's time for Seize the Day. STD. We didn't get this from an armadillo. This is from Cozy 101.1. I think this is the thing. This is a thing from a radio station. All right. Today's Seize the Day is a joke. How about that? The main function of your little toe is to make sure all your furniture is in place. Do you get it? Because that's the one you stub on your furniture when it's out of place, and oftentimes when it is in place. I'm not sure that joke stands up to the truth test, but careful with the basketball. It might be best to keep it as is. Pop it on the shelf. Yeah, Darren, that's exactly where I got it. Yes, Ed, leather moisturizer, sure. I don't think my father's baseball glove is a catcher's mitt, or it wasn't a catcher's mitt. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe that's for next week on the Daily Briefing. Because we're here all week and all next week and potentially in perpetuity throughout the universe. Did I tell you my manager moved to Nashville, so it's either become a country music star. I think she's going to be able to do a lot of her work from Zoom. Who knows? Maybe we're all going to be working from Zoom. We've been doing this for all this time. I don't know what else. I'm looking around like there's something else to do, but we've seized the day. We've had the fart machine. Fun meter is at the maximum. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Hump Day. We have to get back to our camel ears next week, I think. It's March 10th. So I'll see you all tomorrow for Thursday, and it'll be the big report on the stairwell sealer. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. Believe it. Believe it.